Wheelock's Latin Chapter 5. Alright, so first let's start off with a review of parsing verbs. Remember, verbs have mood, tense, voice, person, and number. So the mood, really the only mood we've learned so far is the indicative. We guess we've done a little bit with infinitives. But the indicative mood indicates something, talks about facts. Laudo is the word we're going to parse here. That's present tense. It's active in voice. It's first person and it's singular. So as we continue to build our knowledge of verbs, we're going to learn more tenses. We'll learn the passive voice as well as the active voice. We'll learn different moods and so forth. So today we're going to learn the future tense of the indicative mood in the active voice. So this is the future indicative active for laudo. And how are we going to do this? Well, we're going to take the present stem, which is lauda, which we get that present stem by dropping the RE off of the infinitive, laudare. We're just going to drop that right off of there. And I should have put the macrons on these. So that should be laudabo and so forth. So we can correct those as we go. But laudabo, laudabis, laudabit, laudabimus. That's a long, I should just correct, excuse me, it's short. Laudabimus. Well, laudabimus. Laudabitus. Laudabant. So that's the future. So you take the present stem, lauda, and then you add the endings bo, bis, bit, bimus, bitus, bunt. So laudabo, future indicative active, first person singular, I shall praise. Laudabimus, second person plural, future indicative active, y'all shall praise. The second declension, the second conjugation for monera is formed just the same way. Drop the RE off the infinitive and then add the same terms, the same endings. Monebo, monebus, monebit, monebimus, monebitus, monebunt. So third person singular, future indicative active, he, she, or it shall warn. He will advise. As with all of our other forms, you just have to learn these absolutely by rote. You have to make your flashcards and study them so well that there's never any question. You can be awakened at 2 o'clock in the morning. Give me the future indicative active forms of laudo. And you need to be able to say laudabo, laudabis, laudabit, laudabimus, laudabitus, laudabant. The imperfect, which is a past tense, is formed on the same stem, lauda for first declension, first conjugation verbs, and mone for second conjugation verbs, and the endings are bam, bas, bat, bamus, batis, bant. And here, let me, and these are long here. We should correct these so that you can see them clearly how they're pronounced, because remember our rules for pronunciation. Latin always wants to accent on the second to last syllable, unless that second to last syllable is short, in which case it will then go back to the third last syllable. And we should also change these for moneo, the forms of moneo, because likewise they have these long vowels. But these forms here are so. I'm doing that so you can clearly see how it's going to be pronounced. So laudabam, laudabus, laudabat, laudabamus, laudabatus, laudabant. So since these are long and they're second last syllable, they get accented. Monebam, monebas, monebat, monebamus, monebatus, monebant. So these are imperfect. So laudabas is second person singular. Could be you praised or you were praising. Either way, the imperfect is often used as a simple past, you praised, or sometimes it's used as a progressive tense, you were praising, with the idea of the action of being ongoing in the past. At any rate, these are the endings for the imperfect tense, and you need to make your flashcards and learn them very well. And then, of course, you need to be able to identify, to parse the noun. So, to parse the verb. So if I give you, and I say parse, parse laudabant, you need to be able to say, well, that's indicative mood, it's imperfect in tense, it's active in voice, it's third in person, and plural in number. They praised. They were praising. So there are the verb forms to learn in Chapter 5. We're going to also review some adjectives. Remember our rule. Adjectives agree with the nouns they modify in gender, number, and case. And on page 42, you can see that we've got some verbs that end, some adjectives that end in ER in the nominative, adjectives in ER in the nominative singular. The rest of their endings are normal. And they change only in this way, that some keep the E, like liber, which means free. So in the feminine nominative singular, it's libera. And in the nominative neuter singular, liberum. Some drop the E, pulcher, pulchra, pulchrum. And you just have to learn those with your vocabulary. So note that liber in the genitive singular will be liberi. So the rest of the endings are the same. E, o, o, e, orum, is, os, is. Rest of the endings are all the same. The only form that's different is the nominative singular isn't liberus, like you might expect. It's just liber. And then that one keeps the E. Pulcher drops the E from all those other forms. So pulcher in the genitive singular is pulchri. Okay. So take a look at those on page 42. The vocabulary is straightforward. Again, you need to make your vocabulary forms and study them, your vocabulary cards and study them. Note, when you make your card, make sure you make it with the genitive singular as well as a nominative. So, for example, Kylum, Kylie, sky or heaven. So that lets you know that this is a second declension neuter. And obviously also make sure you're noting if it's masculine, feminine, or neuter. Study those. Study the forms that you did for the future and imperfect of the first and second conjugations. And then I want you to do, numbers 1 and 4. Work on translations 1 and 4 after you've spent some time with your vocabulary and these forms for the future and imperfect. Then do numbers 1 and 4 and come back to the next video to get the corrections for translations 1 and 4.